Good evening. The March 18th, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of the City of Longview is now called to order. To start, I'd ask everybody to rise and ask Commissioner Lloyd to give the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow your heads, please. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and the many blessings you've given us. Please help us to remember why we're here to serve you. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the March 4th, 2025 minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look at them? And if so, are there any corrections or additions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
We had a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we're at item 6 on the agenda, which is citizen comment. This portion of citizen comment are comments made other than the public hearing items that we have on the agenda tonight. If you wish to speak on an item on the agenda, please wait until that time to speak. Please begin by stating your name and address for the public record. Do we have anybody that wants to make citizen comment? Seeing none, we'll move to the consent agenda, which is item 6 on here. The items on the consent agenda are plats that meet the requirements of the City of Longview subdivision ordinance. These items will be approved with one vote unless any member of the Planning and Zoning Commission, any member of the public, or the applicant would like an item removed from consent and placed on the regular agenda for discussion. Would anyone like for an item to remove from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda? All right, seeing none, then I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The consent agenda passes. All right, item 7 is the regular agenda. The purpose of this meeting is to hear all pertinent testimony of those in support of and in opposition to the applications before the commission. Tonight is the first of 2 public hearings required to approve a change in zoning. The commission also considers plats. The procedure for the public hearing items to be followed tonight will be, first, the public hearing will be opened and testimony will be heard in the following order. First will staff, second the applicant, third the general public, beginning with those in support of and then in opposition to the request. If you're a part of a large group with a common interest, we ask that you appoint a spokesperson rather than have each individual restate the same information. When addressing the commission, please begin by stating your name and address. Try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. When all sides have spoken, the public hearing on the matter will be closed and no further public discussion will be entertained. After each public hearing is closed, the commission would vote on the request. Zoning request and the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation will then go forward to the second public hearing, which will be conducted by the City Council on April 10th, 2025. Now we're on to the regular agenda, item A.
Thank you. A public hearing will be held to consider application S25-01 filed by Fisherman's Market requesting a specific use permit to allow for a restaurant with a private club in General Retail Zoning District for lots 3 and 4, Block 1, Chaparral Plaza subdivision located at 116 Johnston Street. So the applicant is requesting a specific use permit to allow for a restaurant to serve mixed beverages in General Retail Zoning District. A specific use permit is required for the on-site consumption to ensure no negative impact on surrounding properties. An SUP was granted for 120 Johnston Street, which is just to the west of this property, in 2022. Although the property was never developed into a restaurant with a private club, the SUP was granted for within this shopping center. Staff finds the proposed zoning change is consistent with our future land use map and surrounding uses, therefore it does not constitute spot zoning. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Does the commission have any questions for Angela? Seeing none, I'll now open the public hearing. Are there any in support of this request? If so, please come to the mic. State your name and address.
My name is Charity Estrada, and our address is 116 Johnston Street, Longview, Texas, and 5601. And I'm just here if you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions of the applicant? Thank you. All right, do we have anybody that wants to speak in support of the proposal? Anybody that wants to speak against the proposal? Hearing none, any questions from the commission? Okay, then I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Did you get those? Motion?
David.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, now on to regular item B.
Thank you.
Angela?
Public hearing be held to consider application Z25-09 filed by Gene Barnes requesting a rezone of lots 49, 50A, and 50B, New City Block 223, Longview McNutt acreage, from multifamily 3 to light commercial zoning district located at 418 Pearl Street. So the applicant is requesting a rezone of this property seen here on the zoning map from multifamily to light commercial C1 zoning district. Currently, there is a dwelling located on this property. The applicant is proposing a hydroponic business at this location. Staff finds that the proposed zoning change is consistent with surrounding uses, therefore it does not constitute spot zoning. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Anybody have any questions for Angela? All right, now open the public hearing. I believe the applicant's here. Would you want to come to the podium and give your name and address?
My name is Darrell Barnes, son of Gene Barnes, the owner of the property. Address is 510 West George Ritchie Road, White Oak, Texas.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
I have a question. So this is what you're proposing here, right?
Correct.
These containers, are you proposing to park these containers along all those properties? Is that-
Yes, they are. I believe you do have a map. Should be able to show it up here. It's not in there.
It's
I
not
was
in
told to submit it, and you'd be able to show it on a...
We did not receive it from you, so
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact... There will be 9 40-foot-long trailers. They're 8 foot wide and 7 foot high. These will be self-contained, enclosed trailers for growing fruits and vegetables, something that we don't have here in Longview, but we do have it in Fort Worth. Now, just to set the groundwork for it, they are doing this in Fort Worth, but it's hydroponics in a greenhouse. The advantages and disadvantages of what I'm proposing, what they're doing, is that they have a large farm system. If one thing goes down, it all goes down. When you do hydroponics, it is growing, if you don't know, it is growing fruits and vegetables in water and not using soil. Therefore, everything that you pull out is completely clean, can be edible right off the bat. These trailers are, since they're 40 foot long and 8 foot high, 7 feet wide, or 7 feet high and 8 foot wide, when you go to plant anything in the ground, let's say you're planting 800 heads of lettuce in the ground. First of all, you got to water it. You're going to lose water because it soaks into the ground. Second of all, evaporation. Within the system that I'm proposing here, everything is self-contained. It's 95% less water waste because everything that plants don't soak up gets recirculated. The temperature is controlled by computer, so it's at the optimal growth temperature for anything that we're producing. Therefore, we will grow 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, all year long. Winter does not affect us because it's temperature controlled on the inside. Therefore, when it comes to prices of foods and vegetables, I was at the store purchasing a bag of onion the other day. We all know the tariffs most likely going to kick in. A bag of onion was $1.47 a pound. I decided to get one onion. It was $1.17. That's thin. The tariffs kick in, it's going to go up even more. With my system, because when it comes to maintaining it, everything is self-operated. The only human intervention would be planting the seeds, taking the seedlings, planting them into the containers, and watching it grow. Everything else is automated. Therefore, when it comes time to harvest, we will be able to harvest 3 times as much as you would when you plant in the ground, because everything will be on a vertical structure, straight up and down instead of on a flat surface. This is something that I tried in California, and it worked out great. I'm trying to expand it here since there's nothing around here. Even though although prices are going up, this is going to keep the prices down. Fruits and vegetables will be able to be harvested at the peak of ripeness. And depending on the stores that I will be servicing, if they want to deliver them to them or to their central hub, we will figure out what that's going to be. That way, it's not that you have to pick something and wait for a week to ripen. These will be ripened within a day or 2. So now you have the freshness, and you have 100% organic. Because of the fish, as the Native Americans and the Aztecs did, when they planted a seed in the ground, they took a cut of fish and put it on it. It was the best fertilizer you could get. We're doing something very similar. I'll have 2 500-gallon fish tanks containing fish. We will use the dirty fish water, which goes down through the plants itself, and it will sift out all the solids and come out as clean water, which we will circulate back through to the fish tanks. Of course, we'll have filtrations also, because the fish need clean water. That is the basis of what I'm proposing here. I'm hoping that this is something that's going to be welcome here in Longview, and that I'll be able to work with the city of Longview, as well as the grocers around, to provide nutritional, low-cost fruits and vegetables to the city.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody have any other questions for the applicant?
I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Why did you choose this spot to do that, knowing that the zoning was not there?
Because of this spot right here. My grandmother has lived there, we have owned this spot for over 120 years. And it has been vacant except for the one house there, which has been turned into a duplex. Now it's vacant, and I've remodeled the inside of it. And I figured, we own property in White Oak. We got 12 acres out there. That is where I was going to do it. But I figured that if we're going to service Longview, and we have this property in Longview, why not do it here in Longview? We don't have to wait for anything to be shipped from Mexico or anywhere else. It can be shipped from right here, from growth to store.
So your family owns the properties, which?
Yes.
Okay, I understand that now, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes.
Angela, does city code allow a permanent installment of a Connex or shipping container?
This will have to go through permitting process, and so he will have to meet our building codes. And so the short answer is he's going to have to make it code compliant.
But it's a shipping container.
Yes. Yeah. They can be made to be code compliant, like the cargo restaurant, but he'll have to make it code compliant. It'll have to meet the building code.
What about sewer, water? I mean,
He'll have to tie into city, he'll have to go through the development process through our offices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question is the city okay with seeing these containers there? Ultimately looking like, the containers are nice, but ultimately looking like a shipyard or something like that. Shipping
Yeah,
yard.
so the cities, we cannot regulate facade requirements, and that's a state law. And so unless it's a historic property, if he wants to build it out of, if he wants to build a regular building out of metal, he can.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I could build a house out of containers and live in it if I wanted to?
as long as it's code compliant, yes, sir.
It's code. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
To answer your question about this, it will not be open. Right next door to the police station is where this property is. They've got an 8-foot fence surrounding the property. I plan on doing the same thing. I don't want it to be an eyesore. I want to put a wall around it, have it gated, and have security for everyone concerned, in and out. All kinds of security, monitors, everything, and lights as well. So the only thing that someone would probably see is the electricity tower that I plan on building. I don't know how many times electricity has gone out in the city of Longview. I know in White Oak it's gone out a few times. And if you don't have any kind of generator or backup, you're in the dark. And me dealing with what I'm doing, refrigeration and everything, and live fish, I need to have electricity without fail. So I'm working on a system right now that I'll test next month. If it works, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Maybe you can look at it. It's called Heron's Fountain. It's a self-perpetuating fountain. Once you fill it up, it goes around and around and around without stopping. I am combining that with a turbine engine to create electricity. I test it next month. If that works, I'll be setting that up in back. So not only will I be creating electricity, but I'll be supplying extra electricity to the city of Longview too, along with the solar that I may put on top of these containers, solar panels. So I won't be just taking, I'll be giving back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, do we have anyone in the audience that wants to speak in favor of the request? All right, hearing none, do we have anybody that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, any other questions, comments from the commission?
Angela, do you know if the other properties that are zoned single-family are vacant?
Let me
The
go
one that
back to the
obviously
map.
appears boarded up, but.
Yeah.
So on the zoning map, there is some single-family property zoned to the north on that green. It's a planned development. It's vacant. Also in the green, that PD 0605 is also vacant. There are some single-family homes to the south of this property that's in that multifamily zoning. Let me see if you can see. Pull up an aerial. You can kind of see the rooftops. But everything to the north is vacant, other than edible art.
Did you hear any feedback from those property owners to the south?
We have not.
Okay.
Were they in the range of being notified?
Yes. So this is who we notified. Yeah, everybody within 300 feet.
Any other questions or comments? All right, then this time I'll close the public hearing and call for a motion.
I'll move to approve.
A second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, then the next one is regular item, agenda item C. Angela?
Thank you. A public hearing will be held to consider application Z25-10 filed by the City of Longview requesting a rezone from multifamily to single-family 4 zoning district for abstract 262 Adjourn survey, tracks 72 and 73, section 1, and lots 1 and 2, Thornton Street addition, located along Thornton Street north of Eden Drive. So the city is requesting a rezone of this property seen here on the zoning map from MF-3 to single-family 4 zoning district along Thornton Street. Currently, there are actually 2 single-family homes right there seen here on this map. They are both single-family homes in multifamily zoning district. We do have a property owner interested in building a single-family home across the street on Thornton. As stated before in previous zoning, planning and zoning meetings, the previous UDC, or the previous zoning ordinance did allow single-family in multifamily zoning district. However, our current UDC does not. So in order to correct this, the City of Longview is requesting a rezone of these properties to bring them into compliance in regards to zoning. This would also alleviate any issues with future permitting and possible future sales of these properties. Staff finds the proposed zoning change is consistent with our future land use map and surrounding uses. Therefore, it does not constitute spot zoning. I'd be happy to answer your questions at this time.
Any questions for Angela? All right. Hearing none, I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant here and do they wish to speak? Sir, please come to the mic and state your name and address for us.
Yeah, my name is Jose Menjivar. I applied for make a single multi-family to single-family home.
Anybody have any questions for the applicant? Thank you, sir. All right, do we have anybody in the audience that is in support of the request? Seeing none, do we have anybody in the audience that is in opposition to the request? Hearing none, does the commission have any other questions, the applicant or staff? All right, at this time I'll close the public hearing and call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Got a
Second.
motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, regular item D, Angela.
Thank you. A public hearing will be held to consider application Z 25-11 filed by Michael Smith, requesting to rezone a portion of lots 3 and 4, Block 1, New City Block 887, Glen Haven subdivision from office zoning district to single-family 2 zoning district located at 107 and 109 East Hoyt Drive. So the applicant is requesting the rezone from office to single-family 2 zoning district for these properties located on East Hoyt. Currently, there is a single-family home on this property, and then there's another vacant lot right next to it. The owner would like to build a single-family home on this property. Therefore, it needs to be rezoned to single-family in order to do this. Staff finds that the proposed zoning change is consistent with our future land use map and surrounding uses. Therefore, it does not constitute spot zoning. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Any questions for Angela? Hearing none, is the applicant here and would you like to speak?
I'm Michael Smith. My address is 1016 Riverwood Drive in Longview, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Any questions for the applicant? Looks like you got off light.
Okay.
All right, is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak in favor of the request? Seeing none, anybody that wants to speak in opposition to the request? Seeing none, any other questions from the commission? In that case, I'll close the public hearing and call for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. The last item on the agenda is item 8, staff update. Angela, will you please provide an update of city council action on the previous items?
Yes, all items that were presented to council was approved.
Very good.
Yep.
Thank you. And that closes the public meeting, and we are adjourned. Oh, I got it.